Hello everyone, QuickFlicks is with you. And what if Kaufman the clown actually sought his dispersion and deliberately turned into this monster? I understand, it sounds crazy, and you ask, why did I take this? I'll explain now. His whole room is filled with the inscriptions, exit, exit, and there is no exit. Caine seemed to him a malicious warden who mocks them. And the clown was really obsessed with getting out of the Digital Circus. And as he remembers, he even found the most cherished door. Not just seen it, but been inside. This is proved by the pictures he painted of similar gloomy liminal spaces through which the girl wandered in the pilot episode. But as we already know, this is not a way out of this reality at all, but just another location built by Caine based on the desires of his wards. It is still unfinished and buggy, and only once again made Kaufman understand that there is no way out of the circus. Judging by the state of mind, after what he saw, the clown was certainly in complete apathy after a walk through familiar office premises, and soon, against the background of this breakdown, the clown decided to take extremely desperate measures. In one of the paintings, you can see him standing in front of his own scattered version, and the inscription, "Why?" In other words, Kaufman drew it even before he turned into a monster, consciously sat, painted a picture, and already knew that this would happen soon. But for some reason, he didn't even resist it. He didn't try to prevent it in any way. Just wondered why. Why is this happening? Why does everyone who goes crazy turn into this something? And why does Caine dislike it so much, if he is only happy to mock them? And then we see how, in one of the paintings, Kaufman writes that he told the clown, and then again and again. But the exit can't talk. Apparently, someone or something was pouring thoughts into Kaufman's head which drove him crazy. Something that made Kaufman voluntarily give himself up to dispersion. You see, he knew that the absent-minded Caine throws everyone into the basement, a territory closed from all players, where it is simply impossible to penetrate, where only the scattered fall, and which is also depicted in one of his paintings. So maybe the exit is exactly there. What if scattering is the way out? Based on all this, the following comes out. Lily is the last hope to get out of here. Kaufman took a desperate step for the opportunity to get into the basement, the only territory that he has not explored yet, where perhaps there is a real exit. But alas, he will never know. Kaufman has completely lost his mind and his former self, does not recognize friends, does not understand their words, and just attacks everything he sees. And it is unlikely that in this state he will even look for a way out, even if he really is somewhere in the basement. But who could make the cough drizzle? After all, everyone in the circus knows that the scattered ones do not control themselves, and even small glitches already cause them pain. Even the thought that it completely gone through him could not arise that complete deprivation of reason would allow him to get out. And I have a strong feeling that someone from the local inhabitants gave the clown this idea. But who could put so much pressure on the clown? The drawings on the wall of his room make it clear that Kaufman was very afraid of Caine. However, Toothy is unlikely to crave the dispersion of players, because this is in fact an undesirable game failure. And a clown with such an attitude would never trust him. Jax is much more suspicious. After all, for an unknown reason, he has keys that are all rooms. He constantly lies to everyone, pushes, tears off other people's body parts, abandons friends in a moment of danger, substitutes, mocks. But most importantly, he's the last one who saw Kaufman before the scattering.
I've been looking for this. Thanks for keeping an eye on it, Coffee.
Jax bluntly says that not so long ago he forgot his bowling ball in the clown's room. That is, he was here at the moment when Kaufman locked himself in and did not want to talk to anyone. During that period of time when no one allegedly saw him. And just as mocking as the others, he could calmly joke, they say, maybe you should disperse to go out. However, despite all this evidence, and Jax is not guilty of scattering Kaufman. The creator of the animated series just wants us to think so. But if the rabbit knew about this, he would rather go to catch Gloinks, remember, where in fact he fled after seeing this horror. Even for the sake of an alibi, he would not have put himself in danger. The true villain in this story is not Jax at all. and not even Caine, but the character who remained in the shadows throughout the pilot episode, did not particularly attract the audience's attention and did not want to participate in the adventure or visit Kaufman at all. Zubul.
Can't believe Kaufman just gave up like that.
As many viewers have noted, the final scene of the pilot episode parodies The Last Supper, a famous painting depicting the scene of the last meal of Jesus Christ with his disciples the day before the crucifixion. However, this is not just a reference for the sake of reference, but a hint.
After all, at this very moment, Jesus informs his disciples that one of them will betray him.
In all parodies and pop culture, the Messiah sits in the center, and the second person to his left will turn out to be a traitor, like Judas Iscariot. However, an important detail is the fact that while everyone is talking around, Judas only silently leans his elbow on the table. And in this case, the traitor is not the second person on the left, but the second person on the right, who, with her elbow out, silently watches the drooping remember. Thus, Goosefax subtly hints to us that the villain is not Caine, nor Carole, nor even Jax, but an unremarkable Zubul. Despite the small number of replicas, it was already possible to understand that she was quite rude, cynical, indifferent. Not the most pleasant person who could really aggravate Kaufman's condition.
I mean, no offense, Kinger, but I always thought you would be next.
Seeing the psychological problems of a friend, she only presses on the sore point, not caring how it will affect him. Moreover, Zubul is Remember's neighbor. She lives literally 2 steps away from him, and no one would ever know if she came to him at night. And with her character, Zubul could have cynically suggested that the clown just dissipate already, which he did. But if Zubul is really a traitor, then Remember, it turns out, in this case, he personifies Jesus Christ. Even on official concept art, Remember, as if Jesus is depicted crucified on the cross, she healed her own hand from glitches without Caine's help, just like Jesus healed people, and on Tumblr, the creator of the animated series says that the Digital Circus is literally a cartoon purgatory, because the reference to the Last Supper is not an accident at all, but an important plot component, in which Remember represents the Messiah who arrived in this world to save all the people. But from what to save, and in what way? Why did people consciously come here at all? And why is there still no way out of here? We are clearly being made to understand that the amazing Digital Circus is a game where you can enter and put VR glasses on your head. And the site shown to us at the time of Caine's use of his Uwe key shows us the restored trailer files of this particular game, created at least a couple of decades ago, judging by the quality, format, model of the computer shown, the interface of the game, and the deliberately hidden date of its release. At the same time, in the trailer you can see both Jax and the horn and teeth and even Remember, despite the fact that she got here only recently. Most likely, as in any other old games, in the amazing Digital Circus, you do not have the opportunity to create characters. You are given the choice from a limited number of avatars in the form of a jester, a rabbit doll, as hinted at by the official concept art from the Twitter of the Glixes. And on one hand, the crossed-out avatars on the doors can already just be scattered characters, and on the other hand, they are simply not chosen by anyone yet. Therefore, their faces are crossed out.
Perhaps they will appear in the series later, perhaps even another Kaufman, since the past is no more. Similar skins were chosen by the developers based on nostalgia for toys from the 70s and 80s, in the form of clicking teeth, ash blocks, chess, soap bubbles, and locations in the form of playgrounds, so that here you can plunge back into childhood. However, most likely due to numerous glitches, the game did not come out as a result. The trailer mentions experimental technologies, a special chip that gives an amazing visual and realistic sound, as if you were really stuck inside the game. And the developers are not sure whether this equipment will pass the expert review at all. And, as we already know, the amazing Digital Circus literally locks up players without being able to get out. Such a game in the image could not be approved, and most likely, it exists in a single copy in this old abandoned office. Someone suggests that Jax is Horned, the king of the Tooth King, and even remember, these are the developers of the Digital Circus. However, they are almost all 20 or 30 years old, as well as the game itself, and they entered here with a difference of several years, and they've been stuck here for years. Therefore, it is unlikely. If there were developers here, they have long gone crazy and are sitting in the basement. And Caine, according to the official description, is only artificial intelligence. He was never a human being, as Gooseworks, the creator of the animated series, firmly asserts. Even when she is asked how old Caine is, she replies that he cannot have an age because he is AA and has never been alive. But then, why would ordinary people, after decades, go into a strange game from which there is no way out? In a game that will deprive you of any memories and everything that you had in real life? The answer to this question is in the characters themselves. Psychosis, schizophrenia, split personality, narcissism, dissocial disorder, self-doubt, and depression. Each of the main characters suffers from a certain psychological illness. And according to Gooseworks, the amazing Digital Circus is primarily a show about adults with adult problems, and the main purpose of the animated series is to reveal them more deeply. It seems to me that none of the main characters simply did not fit into the real world, and they were bullied or not taken seriously, hated or despised. None of them could find a place anywhere. And being hickey freaks, they found out about the game in the dark corners of the internet. They are able to deprive you of past memories and give you a new life in a magical world full of nostalgia and adventure. And when they heard about it, each of them in turn found an abandoned office, put on these VR glasses, forgetting everything that had happened, and voluntarily found himself in an amazing digital circus. However, although the game erases memories, it does not deprive a person of identity and character. Although people have forgotten their past problems and grievances, their psychological problems have not gone away. And remember, perhaps a former psychologist and her role as our Savior, Jesus Christ, is not at all to find a way out, but to help her new friends overcome their troubles with the head, to atone for their sins. Sacrificing herself to her own depression, she will be able to pull everyone else from the bottom. There is no easy solution to the problem at the click of a finger, as there is no exit door. This is a long work on yourself, and to get out of depression, you have to go through the whole game. If you give up, the disease will consume you, and under the yoke of anxiety, you will soon draw the line of your life yourself. But in order to live a full life, you must first deal with all your cockroaches in your head. Otherwise, you simply will not trample. If there are 500,000 views on this video, then I will release another video about the Digital Circus, where I will tell you more about Caine, the past of the king, Jax, and the others. So throw off the video to your friends, subscribe to the channel so as not to miss it. And don't forget to like the video so that YouTube promotes it better. And that's all for today. QuickFlicks was with you. Thanks for watching, and bye.